Mass formation psychosis is trending around the world on Twitter, on Google, and the forces that be are trying to contain it. What happened and what does it mean? I'm Radically Moderate, and if you guys like this type of content, please leave a like down below, subscribe to help this channel grow. My last one was deleted for censorship reasons. If you like people who have contrarian opinions, this is the channel for you. We have people on the left, which is why I first heard about this clip. The Daily Dot, a known left-wing, far-left publication, Claire Goforth, far lefty here, she is reacting to a somewhat old podcast clip tweeted by Myth-Informed Milwaukee. It has 2 million plays on YouTube. Lawrence Fox retweeted it, getting it much traction. This actual podcast with Joe Rogan, though, is, 10, 14, 2 weeks old? So this isn't breaking news. This clip, the way he speaks sounds credible. We're going to go over the clip and the reaction to it. So let's see what's going on here.
From basically European intellectual inquiry into what the heck happened in Germany in the 20s and 30s. You know, very intelligent, highly educated population, and they went barking mad. And how did that happen? The answer is mass formation psychosis. When you have a society that has become decoupled from each other and has free-floating anxiety and a sense that things don't make sense, we can't understand it, and then their attention gets focused by a leader or a series of events on one small point, just like hypnosis, they literally become hypnotized and can be led anywhere. And one of the aspects of that phenomena is the people that they identify as their leaders, the ones typically that come in and say, you have this pain and I can solve it for you, I and I alone, okay, can fix this problem for you, okay, then they will follow that person through. It doesn't matter whether they lie to him or whatever. The data are irrelevant. And furthermore, anybody who questions that narrative is to be immediately attacked. They are the other. This is central to mass formation psychosis. And this is what has happened. We had all those conditions. If you remember back before 2019, everybody was complaining, the world doesn't make sense, blah, blah, blah. And we're all isolated from each other. We're all on our little tools. We're not connected socially anymore, except through social media. And then this thing happened and everybody focused on it. That is how mass formation psychosis happens. And that is what's happened here.
Mass formation psychosis is what they're describing what happened in Germany. Now, when people on the right talk about what happened in Germany leading up to the World War II bad guys, people on the left somewhat get really touchy and freaked out for some reason, like we're encouraging it, when really we're trying to stop it. But meanwhile, the people on the left proudly will label people Nazis and say the far right is growing. It's a growing problem. But if people on the right say that Nazism is a growing problem, people on the left are like, what? You're encouraging. It's like, there's a comic from, I don't know who wrote it exactly, but, you know, two people hear the phrase, this country is becoming increasingly like 1920s Germany. And one person gets excited about it and one person gets worried about it. People like Brooklyn Dad Defiant, who is a paid operative. Remember, he gets paid, what, how many thousands of dollars per tweet? Try telling families of 800,000 people who died from COVID, or died with COVID. Let's be honest here, you liar. With ventilators shoved down their throats, that they suffered from mass formation psychosis. I mean, maybe putting masks on kids that have a 99.999% survival rate is mass formation psychosis. This is the stupidest S I've heard in a long... Wow. Mass formation psychosis is the real pandemic, says being libertarian. I'm fully vaccinated and boosted. I just tested positive for COVID-19. I am grateful for my protection from the vaccine. What is it now? The Streisand effect? The left trying to cancel this clip, trying to control it, is making it go viral.
I'm just hoping that clip where you explained this mass formation psychosis makes the rounds.
It is. So what's going on to contain it? The powers that be, like Google, are manipulating their search results right now. Mass formation psychosis. It looks like the search results for these are changing quickly. That's weird. I've never really seen Google do that before. That's not what you get when you click I'm feeling lucky. So I Googled mass formation psychosis. And you get these stories here. The Daily Dot story we'll read later. And then this YouTuber who 6 hours ago claiming that it's becoming a buzzword on the far right. Anyone who believes in medical fact. Oh my God. Except when the medical facts you don't agree with politically, then you're going to disbelieve those medical facts. I know how it is. Meanwhile, DuckDuckGo has completely different results, including Dr. Malone's actual Substack where he talks about mass formation psychosis. You don't see this on Google, any of these results. Google is trying to mislead you away from the truth these days. We have his essay, yes. So let's go over this article by hack Claire Goforth. The far right is convinced that the United States is just like Germany in the 1920s and 30s. Now, as I was saying before, some of them could be excited and happy that it's becoming like that, or they are trying to prevent it from becoming like that. Meanwhile, people like Claire Goforth think that Nazism is a growing problem in the United States. When the far right, when people on the right think it's a problem, she attacks them too, because only the people on the left are allowed to attack Nazis. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. Someone can explain it in the comments down below. Earlier this week, Joe Rogan invited Dr. Robert Malone on a show. Malone, virologist, immunologist, who claims to have invented papers for mRNA vaccines in 1989 and 1990. A more accurate telling is that he sparked hope for the vaccine, and he contributed to its development. Okay, so it sounds like he's a pretty credible guy, right? He's known. Who cares if he's unknown? Most doctors are largely unknown. Dumbass. Until he emerged as an adamant opponent to COVID-19 last year, he was swiftly parlayed his work on the vaccine into opposition, into a far-right stardom. Internet archives show that from June to December, his Twitter following grew from 4,000 to 500,000. Simultaneously, he did the anti-vaxxer tour of duty, appearing on Tucker Carlson and Steve Bannon shows and everywhere in between. Because, I mean, if you guys don't know, the word anti-vaxxer means opposing mandates, which lots of people opposed mandating drugging the entire population. I don't know about you, but when I was studying nanoscience, we were learning something called individualized medicine, where each medical treatment would be tailored to the person, so it's more narrow and specific to the person, and it gets you better results than just broad application of a certain treatment to the entire population, which is what vaccines are. I don't know, guys. This is crazy stuff. Individualized medicine. I don't know. Someone's going to call me a hack for just bringing that up. I know, right? Wait until we bring that up. It's an anti-vaxxer idea. Individualized medicine. Oh, boy. On Wednesday, Malone achieved the far-right coup de grace by getting permanently suspended on Twitter. Meanwhile, people on the left keep saying, there is no censorship. There's no censorship. I don't know what censorship is. He's on Joe Rogan's podcast. He's not being censored. Which is a stupid take, but there are people on Twitter saying it. Archives show that prior to his suspension, he's been a source of disinformation. I don't know what that means exactly. I mean, he's a credible expert, so, I mean, About the vaccine and treatments for COVID on Twitter. The account referenced has been permanently suspended for repeated violations of the COVID-19 misinformation policy. But that doesn't mean he's actually spreading misinformation. That's Twitter's opinion. In fact, he should sue Twitter for slandering him, in my opinion, said the Daily Dot. Rogan, no stranger to promoting unproven COVID treatments himself. I don't know what that means. People asked him what his treatment was, but we won't rehash this. Rewarded Malone by inviting him on his show. Look at this. Look at the jealousy seething from Claire Goforth. She wished she was on Joe Rogan's show. It's a reward to be on his show. They admit it. They know it. They're jealous of it. That he dares have contrarian opinions on his show. They hate it. That's what this is all about, guys. Rewarded Malone by inviting him on a show where Malone whined. Because if you talk about things that happen to you, it's whining. Claire Goforth thinks black people whined about slavery. That's true. That's her opinion. It's proven. She thinks black people were just whining about slavery. And she's a racist, by the way. Okay, let's continue. Whined about his Twitter suspension and repeated conspiracy theories about the vaccine and COVID treatments that made him beloved of the far right. Because only the far right are anti-COVID mass vaccine. No one on the left, not like Jimmy Dore. He never was injured by vaccines. That didn't happen to him. One comment he made in the sprawling 3-hour interview was captured by the far right fan. What is the far right, by the way? I don't even know what that means. Maybe someone can explain it. Maybe her dad was far right. Malone claimed that the United States is like Germany in 1920s, 30s. A very intelligent, highly educated population. And they are barking mad. How did it happen? He said that of Nazi Germany. The answer is mass formation psychosis. I don't know, Claire Goforth. Why don't you effing tell me how 1920s Germany happened? Was it just a persuasive leader who rose to power and everyone else was just duped into following him? Really? That's how it all happened? It was just the one person in charge, nothing else. Everyone else was trying to stop him the whole time. Trump and Hitler. They're the same person. That we dodged a bullet there of Trump, man. It was so close. Really? You fucking such a dishonest take. She is, let's be honest here, guys. She would be one of Hitler's top propagandists. Claire Goforth. Look at the misinformation she is spreading. Someone who's trying to prevent Nazism from rising. She's attacking him. That's the definition of a Nazi in my book. I don't know what else I don't know what else to say, guys. Maybe Claire can come on my podcast and defend herself from her Nazi views. Continuing, he said, "When you have a society that has become decoupled from each other," and we heard the quote. Malone, who's not a sociologist, psychologist, or anthropologist, and Claire Goforth, who is none of those things herself as well, and is not a virologist or MD. What's her background? I don't even know if she has a degree. Do you even count journalism as a degree? I think that counts against you in my book. If someone came to me and they're going to work for my company, I wouldn't hire them if they had a journalism degree. I don't even know if I'd hire someone with an English degree, because that's stupid too. Sorry, English degree majors. Sorry. We love the STEM around here. That said, the leaders who take in charge in such a situation that they claim alone to solve society's problem, they will follow that person. It doesn't matter if they lie to them or whatever. Yeah, it's not, what are you against? Claire is apparently against this guy's warning of people blindly following a leader when she was saying people are blindly following Trump, and was against the January 6th insurrection where people were trying to rise up and the Nazis were taking over the White House. And oh my God, look at this gaslighting we get constantly from these people. They're so evil. I don't know what else to describe it. Malone's comments went viral. It has more than 1 million views. Oh, his hypothesis that America is becoming like Nazi Germany naturally appeals to the crowd that likens COVID restrictions to the Holocaust. I don't know, guys. Maybe you have to show me your papers to go inside a restaurant. Oh, that never happened. And then, you see, it's different because in Nazi Germany, people were born Jewish, and you can choose to be vaccinated. You see, it's like, really? Oh, it's such a stupid take, but they seriously believe it. The suppression of free speech has played a brutal role in this mass formation psychosis, tweeted out British actor and anti-woke crusader Lawrence Fox. Oh, nice plug right there. And this is where you get a lot of the people saying, "Oh, where's the silence coming from? Suppression of free speech? He's on Joe Rogan's podcast. He's not being suppressed for free speech at all." Here we have this lovely tweet. The far right and conspiracy theorists Conspiracy Theorist Haven Telegram is abuzz with the talk of Malone's appearance. Oh boy. Good thing Claire is an expert on whatever the fuck. Are we sure she's not just an undercover far right? She's always giving us updates on what they're up to. I'm surprised she's not on the Daily Stormer giving us updates from there too. Discourse about mass formation psychosis has been bubbling up in the far right circles for a while Malone himself has been talking about it for weeks. A book published in November makes the same argument that COVID has given rise to a phenomenon which has various names, including mass delusional psychosis and mass hysteria. Have mass hysterias ever happened in the past? Nah, that's impossible. That's impossible, says Claire Goforth. Everyone on the conservative side of the political spectrum agrees that COVID, really, everyone, or not everyone on the conservative side, because, all right, guys, here you go. Last month, a Dilbert creator and far-right mouthpiece. So, guys, Scott Adams. I used to follow him a lot, not so much anymore. I don't catch his daily live streams anymore. She used to mock him and attack him for being right-wing, presumably. And now she's calling him a right-wing mouthpiece, which means that, what? He's just blindly saying right-wing things? Okay. So this mindless talker of words, I'm supposed to believe his words now? You just discredited him by calling him a mouthpiece. Why would I want to listen to anything he'd ever say after that? It's kind of really stupid to say the mass formation psychosis is total BS as an explanation of how we got here. It's a flawed assumption that we start with some sort of baseline rational thought and drifted. A simple explanation is that fake news broke us. He's not exactly disagreeing with it, because Scott Adams has talked about mass hysteria many times, and he says it's actually fairly common. Scott Adams' point of view is that we're actually most of the time not rational. People are 90% of the time irrational, except for the 10% of the time that we're rational. So that's what he's saying here. So silly, dilly, dumb Claire Goforth can't even quote Scott Adams correctly while trying to attack his credibility at the same time. It's really quite an amazing piece of journalism here. I don't know if I'd call it journalism. Journalism, I guess. So if you guys like the comments, leave a like down below. Don't attack any of the people mentioned in this video, because I have to say that to cover my bases, even though people like this will someday get what's coming for them in the divine sense. Up against a wall, that's what I say. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Radically Moderate out of here.